Man, Horntop Bop is such a beautiful level. I mean, look at these leaves. Look how freaking orange they are. It's pretty. But the main selling points of this level are actually the horns, because whenever you get to them, they sync up with the music, and that's just cool. Every time you get to an area in this level, there's a separate music track playing for the area itself. It's freaking awesome. Seriously, without these horns, this level wouldn't be so different from the other levels in the game. And speaking of horns, there's a variety of different horns in this level that make each different sound. Like for example, you have the small horns, the ground horns, the big horns, and the giant horns. Yes, at the end of the level, you'll get taken to a giant horn that makes you float every time it has been blown. And this whole section is actually pretty fun. Also, can we just appreciate that these tiny little owls are blowing these giant horns? I mean, they must have really impressive lungs for that. Much more impressive than Maynard Ferguson's. Also, the fireball shooting pigs are back, and they only appear 3 times in this level. Suits them right for shooting fireballs that slow. Also, are these little penguins just fine with them being blown out of these horns? I mean, what if you were sent to war to go battle against some monkeys, and your job was to get blown out of a horn? I wouldn't agree to go to a war after they said that. Anyway, Horntop Hop is an awesome level, and its music, creativity, and overall design is something that makes you go back to it. Heck yeah, now Meltdown Mayhem is just awesome! It starts you off in a volcano with many ice stains, and then you get Ramby, and then you get to crush everything, and that's fun! And then these giant ice blocks start falling out of nowhere, and you basically have to get on them to, not get hit by lava, and you still get to crush stuff, so it's still awesome! And then these lava things start to chase you as you shoot out of barrels. And then you get to crush more stuff, which is awesome! And then more ice blocks start falling, which leads you to Woof! Made it! And then after you ride this ice block, a giant water wave starts chasing you as the Snow Mad King laughs at you. So you basically have to get the heck out of here, and as it starts to get closer and closer and closer, whew! Oh my god. What I love about this level is that every mechanic that you can interact with is actually really fun to use. Like these things, or those things, or these things, or those things, or those things, or these things. Everything in this level is just really fun to interact with, and I love that. And the fact that this level leads to the final boss just makes the situation even more epic, because after this is it. You'll finally put an end to those snowmads and get your home back. Anyway, Meltdown Mayhem is an awesome level, and it's a great climactic showdown. Now, Blurry Flurry is a special one because... Seriously, it hasn't even been a minute yet and the freaking level is trying to kill you. I mean, freaking ice is falling and you have to go around tight corners. It's crazy. But then after you get over that mess, you have to make your way from even more tight corners. Except this time, it's the tightest corner ever. What the heck? Then your eyes go on this guy from Returns because he somehow survived and freaking snowballs. Then as you get over this part, freaking more snowballs start to shoot at you. And as you get over this other tight corner, freaking a giant snowball lands, launching other snowballs. What the heck is happening? And then after that, spikes come out of the ground, trying to stab you and trying to create more tight corners as you go like... And then bam, a freaking giant snowball launches little small snowballs and big snowballs right after you. Then after that, the earth tries to make it the tidiest freaking corner ever, and you're just like... Then after that, you go like, thank God, because the level's over and nothing bad could possibly happen. What? Suddenly, you're in a snowball and you're crushing every single part of Snowmad Villages and you're like, heck yeah! And as you keep crushing everything down, you reach the end of the level. So if you haven't guessed already, Blurry Flurry is about freaking Mother Nature chasing after your Russian cookies, and then you're like, I won't give them to you, and then she goes on full insane and tries to kill you in every way that she can. This level is just outright insane, and I love it. I mean, there's snowballs, tight corners, spikes, everything here just tries to freaking kill you. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is, Blurry Flurry is an insane masterpiece. Sawmill Thrill. Heck yeah, this level's awesome. It first starts you off in this cold, rainy day, so your only choice is to get inside this factory, and BAM! Freaking saw blades everywhere! And look, as these saw blades are cutting the wood, they're kind of making the level for you. And that's just freaking genius! And then out of nowhere, in the middle of the level, you're put on this freaking log and ride yourself on the water! You can ride on slides, bop yourself on islands, and discover the cheapest puzzle piece in history. Seriously, how was I supposed to know that was there? Then after that, your boat gets turned into a minecart, and oh my god. A giant saw blade cuts off, and as it cuts down the tracks, it makes obstacles for you to dodge. And when that's over, this happens. Wow. Then after that, you get greeted to the end of the level, and man is Sawmill Thrill great. Sure, it's not as insane as Blurry Flurry, for example, but this level is still really creative and smart. I mean, the freaking saw blades are cutting down the wood to make the level for you, and that's just freaking creative as heck, man. There's a lot of minecart stages in this game, and when I saw this one, it quickly stood out from the others. And it also stands out from the other levels in Autumn Heights as well. I mean, the first 3 levels in Autumn Heights were all kind of happy and cheerful, and then you get to Sawmill Thrill, and then you're like, Anyway, Sawmill Thrill is an awesome level. And now, we're getting to the number 1 spot of our list. So back in DKC Returns, my favorite world was definitely the cliff. The entire world has a sense of originality and just creativity overall. And of course, it had dinosaurs. So I just had to love it. So then I got to DK Island on Tropical Freeze. And then I got to the area which was supposed to be inspired by the cliff. And so I thought to myself, I wonder what they could do with this interesting concept and expand on it. And, well, boy did they do something. Cliffside Slide is awesome. Not only is it a silhouette level, but it also combines all the good parts of all the levels on this list. This level includes well-hidden secrets, an equal use of mechanics, difficulty, and epicness. I mean, the entire level is about you climbing an avalanche. Climbing an avalanche! A freaking avalanche! Something that can literally kill millions of people, and we're just climbing over it. It really does show how far we've come. Look at the Snowmads. Look what they did to our home. They have turned the once peaceful cliffside into an endless ocean of snow. And that ocean of snow won't stop us. So you keep going, and keep going, knowing that nothing will get in your way. From this point on, you have known how to bop. You have known how to roll. You have known everything by now. So you're definitely prepared. Even when stuff gets harder, you know not to give up. So far, you have beaten every boss. You have beaten every level. You have come this far. So are you gonna give up now? You have faced many challenges, and this avalanche is not gonna stop you. And as you know that you're incredibly close to your destination, you jump into this barrel and then reach the top of the mountain. Not only is Cliffside Slide a well-designed level, but it also teaches us a lesson. That even when something looks hard, you shouldn't give up. So you have to keep pushing. You have to keep going. And if you do, you might reach the top. Well, there we have it. We have reached the end of my top 30. But I'm just gonna say right now that these are not the only 30 levels I like in this game. In fact, there are thousands of levels in this game that are just completely awesome, and the real reason why they didn't make it in is because I just didn't have space for them. So if you have a favorite level, type it in the comments, and maybe I'll reply. But for now, I think we can all agree that Tropical Freeze is awesome. Alright, so apparently next up is Jelly Jamboree. Another thing I love about this level is that the developers tried to add puzzle elements with the bouncing, like for this, for example, show an example. Seriously, that's just cool. Exist example. I also like to Babapolis is my favorite temple.
You're too quiet!
And the best thing about this challenge is that the enemies you're bopping on disappears.
Oh, Jesus!